If you know me at this stage, you know that for the most part, I focus on Monster Hunter lore, and in this one, we're gonna take a look at the latest monsters revealed for Monster Hunter Rise and even get a bit of lore behind them. Let's go ahead and check them out. Hey everyone, Pinoy X here once again, back with another Monster Hunter video, and in this one we are going to be taking a look at the two new monsters revealed for Monster Hunter Rise with the latest trailer for the Game Awards. We're going to be taking a look at these two monsters, and we'll also take a look at the premise of the story once again to get a better understanding as to how the Rampage affects the story of Monster Hunter Rise and Kamura Village, and how this particular event even gives us a potential new gameplay mode coming up in Monster Hunter Rise. First up, let's go ahead and take a look at the two new monsters revealed for Rise, which are the Somnakant as well as Bishaten. The first monster that we're gonna look into very quickly is known as the Somnakant, the new Leviathan monster coming up in Rise. This is definitely a unique creature design, and the inspiration behind it is very weird. Ichinosis-san actually made a teaser for it in that it looks like a fish with a human face on it. Now, with regards to the Somnakant's overall lore, ecology, and the general structure of the monster in terms of physiology, this monster is considered to be so odd in its overall appearance that some people could mistake it for a humanoid creature. If we take a look at the official website and read the lore behind it, it is as follows. The Somnakant is a formidable aquatic serpent that crests on moonlit nights, likely why it has often been mistaken for a mermaid. Despite its appearance, it is extremely aggressive and tolerates no trespassers on its turf. It expels an intoxicating sleep powder from an organ on its neck, knocking out prey before it can resist. What this means is that during night times when people are walking around, let's say areas of the flooded forest where the Somnakant is seen, they could easily mistake this monster for something along the lines of a humanoid creature such as a mermaid. This is because of the human-like features that it has across its face, meaning that the monster could easily attack you if you get too close to it due to your sheer curiosity. So this is definitely a unique piece of lore regarding the Somnakant, the new Leviathan monster coming up in Monster Hunter Rise. The next monster that gets introduced into the series that's completely new is known as Bishaten. Now, Bishaten is a fanged beast with a very unique shape across its body because this monster, being a fanged beast, has fully fledged wings and a uniquely shaped tail. Alongside this, the capabilities of the monster is focused around throwing fruits at hunters. Each fruit that it carries has some form of status ailment on it, meaning that depending on the coloration of the fruit, it could have a different status ailment altogether. So do keep an eye out for this monster when it starts throwing fruit at you, because those status ailments could impair you in combat. With regards to the lore behind this monster, it is as follows according to the official website. The Bishaten is a monster with a distinctive tail. While it is omnivorous, it has a preference for fruit and keeps various fruits with all kinds of effects in its belly pouch. An incredibly curious beast, it enjoys playing tricks on people and has been seen to bat fruit at its prey using its tail. Now, what this could potentially mean is that the Bishaten might not be an aggressive monster, but one that is mostly curious and playful. Perhaps Capcom will portray this in a way where the Bishaten would interact with us by, let's say, throwing a fruit at us and then suddenly running away. Something along those lines of a behavior for a monster would definitely make it special for the Bishaten, because this is going to be an interaction not seen in previous Monster Hunter games. Monsters are either highly aggressive in previous Monster Hunter games, or they don't interact with you in any way, shape, or form unless you attack them. So I would like to see that playful behavior of Bishaten being portrayed in Monster Hunter Rise in some way, shape, or form. So now that we have explored the lore behind the two upcoming monsters in Rise, let's quickly go back into the premise of the story, which is the Rampage. Now, with regards to the Rampage, we got a bit more exploration behind it in the history of Kamura Village, in that the Rampage happened some 50 years ago and it nearly decimated the entire village due to the fact that the Rampage is actually a group of large monsters working together in order to attack certain human settlements. In this case, this was Kamura Village. Now, Kamura had to go ahead and build a stronghold in order to defend against these particular rampages. However, these monsters are still getting more aggressive by the minute, meaning that the Rampage is gonna get more deadly as we go through the story. One of the key things that I understand about the Rampage in its entirety is that because these monsters would normally fight each other in the wild to the death, the Rampage causes them to set aside their differences and attack humans instead. This is the reason why we have to find the cause of the rampage in Monster Hunter Rise's story to get a better understanding as to what's causing these monsters to behave like this and target humans specifically. Overall, I can't wait to see more of the story once the game releases, but for the time being, this is pretty much the premise of the rampage as a whole. Now, with the theme of the rampage in mind, I'm really hoping that this is a new gameplay mode that we're also getting in Monster Hunter Rise. The reason I'm saying this is because during the trailer, we did get a preview of the Stronghold and how the players are equipping it with the latest weaponry in order to defend against the rampage, but this could just be something exclusive to the story, not actually something that we access later on into the game outside of the story. Remember, in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, there were certain locales that people wanted to access outside of the story, but Capcom didn't add them until later on into titled DLC updates. I'm really hoping that's not the case here. We can access the Stronghold as a means of defending against rampages outside of the storyline in Monster Hunter Rise. So now that we've explored the two new monsters as well as the premise of the story a little bit better, let's go ahead and take a look at other information that we can dissect directly from the trailer. There are two key things I want to talk about here. The first one is the returning monsters. These are the Great Rogi and the Rogi monsters, Baggy and possibly the Great Baggy, as well as the Royal Ludrot and the Ludrot monsters. Many of these creatures are considered to be introductory to the series, meaning that you'll see them firsthand as you're first going through your exploration across the world of Monster Hunter from Kamura Village. So these are going to be monsters that are going to introduce you into Monster Hunter Rise. Having said that though, there is one more monster that they did tease during the trailer that you don't get to see. This ball of lightning that zaps the life out of this poor Baggy comes from a particular monster in previous generation games that a lot of people, myself included, have wanted to see in modern Monster Hunter. This particular flying wyvern is definitely unique in its overall design, and you can even hear it screaming in the background. In fact, I'm gonna go play that clip right now so you can go ahead and hear it for yourself. Did you miss that? Here it is again. That's right, for those of you who are familiar with this screaming, this is none other than Kezu making a comeback in Monster Hunter Rise. This is a monster that looks like it belongs in Resident Evil to begin with, so I actually can't wait to see what it would look like in the Resident Evil engine. Overall, this is going to be an amazing monster, and I can't wait to see it in action, whether that be on a trailer or during the demo that we get in January. Now, I'm also playing the theme of this monster as of right now, and I can't wait to hear the new theme for this creature in Monster Hunter Rise. Definitely going to be super awesome to hear that, and hopefully you're just as excited as I am to see Kezu back in Monster Hunter Rise. And that's pretty much all the information that we have so far regarding the new monsters in terms of their lore, the premise of the story, as well as the returning monsters with the upcoming game. What do you think about this information so far regarding the new monsters as well as all the other content coming up in Monster Hunter Rise? Let us know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions regarding the new monsters, returning monsters, and the premise of the story within Monster Hunter Rise as of right now. Now, with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.